positive and negative adjective pairs. Hello and welcome to English Speaking 360. My name is Josh. Have you ever heard of connotation pairs? Probably not. They are two words with a similar basic meaning. However, one sounds positive, whereas the other one sounds negative. One has a positive connotation and the other has a negative connotation. Let me show you what I mean. Frugal versus stingy. One of those words is positive, the other is negative. Here's a sentence to help you. My grandfather is frugal and never wastes electricity or water. Do you think it's positive or negative? Let me give you another example. My boss is stingy and refuses to replace broken office chairs. You see here, they are not the same. Of course, they both mean someone who is careful with money. Frugal equals careful with money, stingy equals careful with money. But which one is positive? The first one is positive. My grandfather is frugal and he doesn't waste resources. It's very positive. Stingy, however, is the negative word here. It means someone who doesn't want to spend money even for necessary expenses like office chairs. Determined versus stubborn. Josh's determined attitude helped him grow his YouTube channel, and that is true. Here's your second sentence. My father is stubborn and refuses to use a smartphone. Both of those words mean someone who doesn't give up easily. But one is positive, the other is negative. What do you say about determined? It is positive. And of course, stubborn is negative. My father is stubborn. He doesn't want to change his mind. He doesn't like smartphones. And I am very determined to grow my YouTube channel, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell icon to make sure that you get all of my new videos. Nosy versus curious. Nosy relatives kept asking when we were going to get married. How about this one? My daughter is very curious and asks questions about everything. Both of those words mean interested in learning, so someone who wants to know more, but in the first case, it is a negative word because nosy relatives, nobody likes that. Whereas a little child is very curious, and that is very good to ask questions about everything. It is very positive. Picky versus selective. He's picky about his coffee and sends it back if it's not perfect. He's selective about the food he eats because he wants to stay healthy. Both of those words mean someone who chooses carefully. How about the first one? He's picky about his coffee and sends it back if it's not absolutely perfect. What does it sound like? Does it sound positive or negative? That word is a negative word. However, selective sounds very positive. He's selective about the food he eats. It's a very good thing. Traditional versus old-fashioned. That restaurant specializes in traditional Vietnamese food. He's a nice guy, but his views on dating are a little old-fashioned. Both of those words mean that someone is following the old ways. Traditional is very positive, but old-fashioned sounds bad. Here the guy's ideas about dating are old. They are not new. He's not progressive. He is stuck in the past. He is old-fashioned. Arrogant versus confident. The new manager is arrogant and treats everyone like they're stupid. I'm sure you can guess that this one is not so positive. How about this one? Tom is confident about his speech because he prepared well. Both of those words mean someone who believes in themselves. But arrogant, like I said, is very negative. It's not good. Nobody likes an arrogant person. However, everybody likes a confident person. If you prepared well for your speech, you are very confident in your ability. You believe in yourself. Weird versus unique. I like this pair a lot. My neighbor is weird. He collects broken dolls and talks to them. Yeah, that's a little strange. My English teacher has a unique voice that is easy to recognize. I'm talking about myself here. The meaning is the same for both of these words, something that is different from normal, either in a positive way or in a negative way. The first sentence, my neighbor is weird, that's very negative. He's a weirdo. However, my English teacher's voice is unique, very positive, because his voice is easy to recognize. And I hope you do like my voice. Direct versus blunt. Our CEO was direct but still polite during the negotiation. Joseph is so blunt that he often hurts people's feelings. Both have the same meaning, speaking clearly and honestly. But the first one, our CEO was direct, is very positive, but he was still polite. He was firm, he was direct. Joseph is so blunt, he hurts other people's feelings, so it is negative. He is too direct, and it's not a good thing. Gullible versus trusting. The scammers trick gullible people into buying useless products. He has a trusting personality and believes most people are honest. Both of these words are used for people who believe other people very easily. But the first one, gullible, has a very negative connotation. It's very bad. You are gullible. You believe everything people tell you. You're a little stupid. That's what it means. Trusting, however, is a positive personality trait. Maybe a little naive, but you trust people naturally. You don't think everybody is a scammer. Adventurous versus reckless. Julia is adventurous and loves traveling to unfamiliar countries. It sounds very positive. How about this one? Riding a motorbike at high speed in the rain is reckless. Both of the highlighted words are used to describe someone who likes risk. However, the first one is very positive. Julia is adventurous. She loves traveling and she likes to learn new things. However, riding a motorbike very fast in the rain, that's reckless. You're going to have an accident. There is too much risk involved here. Here's the full list. You can take a screenshot if you want. Make sure you try to remember those words. They're very useful. They are words that we actually use when we speak English. But like I said at the beginning, those are high-level words. But now let's see if you remember what they mean. It's quiz time. Test yourself. Question 1. He's too to admit he made a mistake. He is too what? Frugal, stingy, determined, stubborn, nosy, or curious. Now I'm going to help you a little bit here. I'm going to tell you that this sentence is negative. So you have to pick a negative word here. He is too stubborn to admit he made a mistake. 1 point. Question 2. The university is very and accepts only a few students. Picky, selective, traditional, old-fashioned, arrogant, or confident. For this sentence, you have to choose a positive word. The university is very selective. They are picky, but in a good way. Question 3. She's and believes everything she reads online, even fake news. Weird, unique, direct, blunt, gullible, or trusting. This sentence has a negative connotation. She is gullible and believes everything she reads online. 1 more point if you got it right. Question 4. Climbing that mountain without equipment is adventurous, reckless, frugal, stingy, determined, or stubborn. In this sentence, you need to choose a word that has a negative connotation. Climbing that mountain without equipment is reckless. It is very dangerous. You might die. Question 5. The region is famous for its wooden houses. Nosy, curious, picky, selective, traditional, or old-fashioned. This sentence is very positive because the region is famous, so it's very nice, and the wooden houses are traditional in style. Question 6. The artist became popular because of his style. Arrogant, confident, weird, unique, direct, or blunt. You have to choose a word that has a positive connotation. The artist became popular because of his unique style. Very beautiful, but a little strange, and nobody else can paint like he does. Question 7. That millionaire is and never donates money to anyone. Gullible, trusting, adventurous, reckless, frugal, or stingy. So he never donates money to people in need. He keeps all of his money for himself. So in this case, it has a negative connotation. The sentence doesn't sound positive at all. So that millionaire is stingy and never donates money. Question 8. My neighbor is and always wants to know what I'm doing. Determined, stubborn, nosy, curious, picky, or selective. Just by looking at the picture here, you should be able to tell that you need to choose a word that has a negative connotation. My neighbor is nosy and always wants to know what I'm doing. 1 point. Question 9. Studying abroad helped me feel more when I speak English. Traditional, old-fashioned, arrogant, confident, weird, or unique. In this case, the sentence sounds very positive. Studying abroad helped me feel more confident when I speak English. Question 10. Her feedback made the new intern feel uncomfortable. What kind of feedback? Direct, blunt, gullible, trusting, adventurous, or reckless? By looking at the picture, you can tell that it's not positive. It's a very negative thing. Her blunt feedback made the new intern feel uncomfortable. Excellent. How did you do on the test? I hope you got 10 out of 10. For extra practice, visit my website, EnglishSpeaking360.com. It's all free. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.